Welcome, friends, it's the Movie Film Podcast. Movie Film Podcast, enjoy the show. Zaki, Sean, and Ryan are talking about movies. Movie Film Podcast on the radio.
Welcome to Movie Film. This is episode 39, brought to you by Mr. Boy Productions. My name is Zaki Hassan, and I'm joined, as always, by my good friend Brian Hall.
Hey there, Zaki.
How's it going, Brian? Sean is not here with us again.
No. Life, you know?
Yep. That's deep. But we are soldiering on in his absence. So, given that, what's new and exciting in your life?
I just feel like I'm just breaking in 2014, but we're at the end of January, so
I know.
it's already trucking. Happy to be here with you, as always.
Yeah, well, you know, it's interesting because I really like our talking via the Hangout for the show. That it makes it feel like it's been no time at all, even though we haven't actually seen each other. We haven't hung out in more than a year.
Yeah. It was New Year's, wasn't it?
It was New Year's.
Or was that 2 years ago?
It was New Year's Eve of 2012.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's crazy. So go figure.
So about a year.
We'll have to remedy that at some point, and then we can make like a special podcast episode where we live record when we're actually all in the same place.
Yeah, it'll sound the same, except when I slap Zaki, he'll react.
Yes.
And say ow, and then he can slap me back, and then I'll say ow, and then you'll know that we're in the same room.
No, I'm going to hold up a newspaper to the mic. Just so you know.
Yeah.
So
November 5th, 1955. What? Yeah.
And there's our Back to the Future reference for the, you know. So, and by the way, speaking of Back to the Future, they have these Back to the Future Legos out. Have you seen these?
Oh, my goodness. I got one for Christmas.
Oh, you did? Okay.
From your pal and mine, Sean Coyle, in fact.
Now,
yeah, I'm excited.
I'm so tempted to buy them, but I see no good coming from that because having Legos in my house is like, and this is Paul Shirey made this note. This note. It's like being John McClane when you walk over the broken glass.
Yeah, I saw that. That was so funny.
And that's really what it is. That's why we're not allowed to have Legos. So I'm like, well. Unfortunately, we will have to do without the Back to the Future Legos.
That'd be great. I mean, I'm not encouraging them to make another Daddy Daycare movie.
Yeah.
But if they were, and there was some sort of antagonist to the dads who are running Daddy Daycare, it would be funny if there was all these Legos everywhere and the guys are trying to get out and the bad guy was like, shoot the Legos. Yeah. And then they knock over all the Legos, so there's Legos all over the ground, and so then the dads can't leave or something.
He's like, break the Lego.
There you go, Hollywood.
Cars. And it'd be funny if like the henchmen are like breaking apart the Lego pieces by hand. And it's really hard for some of them because they're real tightly on there.
Yeah, they get stuck.
Stuck. So Brian, I understand you saw Ride Along.
I did.
So
Who knew?
Well, I mean, it's like the number one Martin Luther King opening weekend of all time.
Yeah, this was one of those things. I saw the trailer a couple months back, and I was like, I know it's not going to be very good, but something about the trailer just made me smile. Like, I really wanted it to be good, and or at least funny, know. And so my friends were all going. And they're like, we're going to go see a movie. We want to go see Ride Along. Do you want to come? And my first instinct was like, okay. So anyway, it's funny. It's one of those things where they were all into it. I was like, yeah, why not? And I was like, look, the movie's going to be kind of dumb.
Right.
It's not going to be like some highfalutin comedy or anything. But so you calibrate. You just go in ready to have a good time and don't judge it and just enjoy it. And turns out I think I enjoyed it more than everybody else.
Really?
For that reason. You know what I mean? Because the jokes, of course, could have been better. It's almost frustrating sometimes when you see a comedy and the jokes aren't that good. You're like, oh, man, like that's kind of your whole job here. You know what I mean? Like some of the jokes are but they're pretty on the nose and whatnot. But at the same time, I mean, Kevin Hart's energy and then Ice Cube being kind of the straight man, like it'll be a good like Saturday afternoon TBS I'm going to kill
Right.
90 minutes kind of a thing.
Yeah,
So,
well, I mean,
I'm not trying to trick anybody into thinking that this is like some great comedy or anything, but like it's fun. I had a good time.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite jokes in the whole thing was Kevin Hart gets shot in the leg.
Okay.
And they're like, "Oh shoot, you've been shot." He goes, "I don't know." He's like, "Quick!" He's like, "Put a steak on it." That killed me. I don't know. I was the only one in the theater that laughed at that too. By the way,
Really? That's funny in and of itself. Now, I'm curious. What was the sort of the demographic breakdown of the people who were watching the movie?
it was pretty split. Like it wasn't. You know what I mean? It was like men, women, black, white. Like it was kind of all over the place. I mean, that could say something to where I live. I live in kind of like a pretty even, whatever you want to call it, sort of area. But and I went to this the ArcLight too, which is kind of like this high end, kind of expensive place.
Sure.
So like people who go there mean it. You know what I mean? Like you don't just go check out a movie because you're curious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not curious for $15. Like you want to see this movie. So.
Now that's the theater where you like reserve your seats.
Yeah, I'm so used to it because that's the theater that's walking distance from my house. So,
Right.
like it or not, that's the one I always have to go to. But it is expensive.
Well,
I mean,
and I think your experience at this theater is somewhat, for most people listening to this show, they don't get to pre-select their seats. So I mean, you should describe that a little bit.
well, it's funny because I kind of forget that. Like I said, I get kind of used to it, but it's a high-end theater where you go and you have to reserve your tickets early. Well, you don't have to. You can go there and pick your seats. But if you're going to go with a group of people, it helps to do it earlier. So you go online. It has the whole schematic of the theater, and you pick the seats where you want to sit. You show up, get your tickets, and then someone comes out and introduces the film, and they go, "Hey, this is Ride Along. It stars Kevin Hart and Ice Cube. It's directed by whoever directed it. It has a runtime of this and this. We'll be standing at the sides." They stand there, and they for the first 5 minutes to make sure the audio and visual is all good, and you can see them. They keep coming in and out just to check on the picture quality and sound quality, and but like I said, you pay a hefty price for it. Like, sometimes there's movies, Sean calls them Sunday morning movies, where it's like, it's not going to be great, but if you go to an AMC Sunday morning, it's $6. So
Right.
It's like, what do I got to lose? It's a matinee.
Right.
But this place does not have matinees, so you don't take risks at this theater. You go see what you want to go see.
It's for the ballers. It's for the people who are serious about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be like, that could be good. I guess I'll check it out. You're like, no, this is a movie I really want to see. I'm paying as much as I would probably pay to own it on Blu-ray. It better be good.
As I recall, that's the theater where we all went to see Indiana Jones.
Because, we've told the story before, but we had tickets. They weren't pre-selected seats, but we had tickets to an AMC, but the power was out.
Right.
When we showed up.
That's
so
right.
We
which was God. Which was actually God warning us.
He tried to help us.
We didn't heed his signs.
God is good. But we did not heed his warning.
It's like that old story.
I'll never forget it.
God,
Zaki.
why didn't you tell us? He's like, I gave you plenty of, the theater, the power went out. Do you know? That's the conversation at the pearly gates. That's the.
Yeah. I remember that so vividly. I remember how I felt after that movie. I remember looking to my right. You were sitting between Sean and I remember looking at you and being like, I'm in a dream. I'm in a horrible, horrible dream.
Well, we'll be talking more about Indiana Jones a little bit later in the episode, but I mean that's my.
Oh, wait, real quick. No, I want to throw out one more ArcLight story, just because again, this is the place to do it, right? No one else cares about these stories in real life. But what's cool about the ArcLight is they have these series. They'll run these series, and they'll show. You get to vote if you're a member. You get to vote what movies you want to see, and then they'll bring those movies back. And again, it's a nice theater. It's projected really nice. And so anyway, I saw Terminator 2 there.
Oh, nice.
And
just
the thing
recently?
is this particular ArcLight. Oh, I'm sorry. What's that?
Was it just recently?
No, it was maybe like a year and a half ago.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Well, relatively recently.
Well, yeah, recent enough. And anyway, so they showed it, but this ArcLight is at the Sherman Oaks Galleria. And in that movie, the T-1000 is looking for John Connor, and he goes up to this girl, and he's like, "You seen this boy?" And she's like, "Yeah, I think he's at the Galleria." And everybody in the theater went, "Yay!"
You LA people.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Kind of meta.
Nice. That is cool, though. Yeah, I've been there a few times. I was actually thinking about how there was once a time when, like, we would all fly, like, you guys would fly up to the Bay Area, or I would fly down just so that we could watch X movie together.
Yeah,
and how
we did that several times.
Yeah,
and for Iron Man, Simpsons.
Iron Man, right? Exactly. We did it a fair amount, and how that really is like a thing of the past now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, and you had kids then too. I mean, it wasn't the kids. You know what I mean? It was just life. Life gets different, but that was a good times.
Well, it was. There's now a greater volume of kids. Because
right.
They've outnumbered us. I think at the time, last time I was able to do that, like 2008 for Indiana Jones. I mean, we had just one, right? And it's like, I'm going to fly down for the weekend. Like, it wasn't a big deal. Now it's like, no, you're not going anywhere. You have diapers to change.
Yeah.
So, but regardless, I know, man, good times. As we do each and every week, we start things off with listener letters, and we have a letter here. We received this at moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com, our email address, which I hope you will send us any notes to. And he asks, very simply, this is from Darren, who's one of our regulars, and he asks, who is your favorite Saved by the Bell character?
That's funny. Who was the guy who did magic, who ran the Max?
He was Max, as it happens.
Oh, Max, yeah. He's not really. I was just thinking. I was trying to think of an obscure character. I mean, it's kind of... I mean, you hate to say the main person, but I guess Zach, right? I mean, he's the guy who is probably the most interesting, or at least he was involved in the most things. You got to see him... The show is from his point of view. You know what I mean? So when he was confused and frustrated, you saw it. Like, the other ones were almost like all peripheral characters,
So here's my question.
In some ways.
Why was Screech a part of this group? That never made sense to me.
Well, it made less and less sense as the years went on.
Yeah, because he became
right?
like a sociopath by the end.
He did.
Yeah.
That's what's so weird, is because the show continued after those kids with the new class.
Right.
And he was on that, like, working for the school, and he was like an alien. Like, he wasn't a human being.
It was like if Balky from Perfect Strangers saw him, he'd be like, dude, dial it back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's so fascinating to me how that show remains popular. Like I don't, I watched it. I don't really have any nostalgia for it to the extent that I don't watch reruns of it because I think it's pretty hard to watch. But it's weird how it's still so popular, even though it has no like relation to reality.
Yeah. It's not like a 90210 or something. I mean, it is like a heightened... It's for kids, It's on Saturday mornings.
Well, I mean, I feel bad for anyone who prepped themselves for high school based on what they saw on Saved by the Bell. Because
right.
that's just, I'm going to be Zach Morris,
Yeah.
I feel bad for that. Didn't you meet Mr. Belding?
Yeah. There's a karaoke place out here in Burbank, California called Dimples. And he was like a regular there for a while. And so I got taken there for my birthday, and he was there. He sang. I feel like he sang "What's New, Pussycat." And then, we all got our picture taken with him. So that was kind of cool. We got a group photo of our group, and he was in there, and he's got his arms around all of us, and it's like Mr. Belding.
Now,
so that's cool.
Is he happy about the fact that everybody calls him Mr. Belding?
I don't know, but he seemed like he was, he was happy to take pictures. I mean, he must know, when he goes in there, everybody, I don't know. I think he seemed cool with it. Who knows? Who knows what happens when he goes home and hits the pillow? I have no idea.
As he cries himself to sleep with just big racking sobs.
I have a name, that I can't say because I don't know it. No, I do know it. It's Dennis Haskins.
Dennis Haskins.
Yeah. So I do know it. He has a name. His name is Robert Paulson. Yeah.
Also of interest, Saved by the Bell, the new class actually outlasted the original show.
Shut up. Really?
Yeah, it did. By I believe, here, I'm going to have to look this up, but because the original series lasted 5 seasons, and the new class lasted, I want to say, like 7 seasons.
Wow.
Which is bonkers to me.
Well, you say,
Yep,
you're
7
not
seasons.
nostalgic for it, but actually, I am actually nostalgic for it. I if there are reruns on, I usually will.
Sure.
I'll stop on it.
So did you start watching it on Saturday mornings?
Yeah.
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 Because it was, before that, it was that other show which they just, decided to turn into a whole other show.
Yeah. What, Miss Bliss?
Yeah, Good Morning, Miss Bliss. It was, Haley Mills was a teacher, and then they're like, hey, Haley, we love everything about the show except you. Which is basically, so they just kind of kept all the students and the school and the principal, but they fired the star, which was,
Yeah.
That's got to be a vote of confidence. But yeah, the original show lasted 5 seasons. The new class lasted 7 seasons.
Wow.
But name me,
I didn't know.
Name me one character from the new class.
Jojo, the idiot circus boy. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't pick him out of a lineup. I didn't watch the college years either, though. Did you watch that?
I did. I mean, it lasted like 8 episodes. So
right.
And that had as much to do with college as the original did with high school.
It's true.
So I made the exact same mistake as I'm like,
you were ill prepared for high school and college.
Exactly. So. I'll just go up and
you're just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, I'll just smart off to the teacher in the college lecture hall, and
everybody loves it. Whenever I kiss my girlfriend, the whole all these people all of a sudden go ooh.
None of that happened.
Yeah, like the audience would always. No,
you didn't even need to kiss somebody. You just had to walk in the room, or Mario Lopez had to flex, So
right.
That's all it took. Mario Lopez and his Jerry curl. Those are my memories of that show.
Yeah.
But actually, speaking of sort of nostalgia and these icons from a different era, I mean, that allows us to pivot a little bit into headlines for this week, where we've lost a few TV icons recently. Starting with early. On the 1st of this month, actually, James Avery passed away, who is better known as either Uncle Phil or Shredder, I guess, depending on
right
what your nostalgic flavor is. But for me it's both, and that was kind of rough. It was that was hard. And then a few weeks ago, Russell Johnson passed away. Yeah, aka the Professor from Gilligan's Island.
Professor.
It's just it's weird to you get these notices of like, oh, so and so's passed away, and it's weird to be like, gosh, that person is just like a part of my childhood. And Russell Johnson, it's not like he'd been doing a whole lot of stuff, but it was like nice to know that he was still around,
Yeah, you were saying, and we've talked about this before. It's weird when you're growing up and the celebrities that pass away, they're all these older actors that you're like, yeah, I know that name.
Right.
Or like it's some guy that you're like, yeah, he did that roast that they do the commercials for at like 4 a.m.
Right.
I think I know. But then when it's the people that
right,
that you grew up with, I mean, to me, the Uncle Phil is dead. That's, right. I can't wrap my head around that. I mean, I also can't wrap my head around how old that show is. I mean, it's sort of endured for me, I guess, because whenever that's another show I'll stop on, when I'm skipping through channels, because it's still funny to me. It is.
Yep.
And it's just weird to think that's
25.
That was a time ago.
That was 25 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That show, I don't know. I would be interested to ask a younger person to watch it and see what they think. I still think it's hilarious.
It's still watched.
Yeah,
by the younger generation, which I think is very interesting. Because obviously, I talk to my students all the time about this stuff, and for them, it's very much a part of their current frame of reference. I think part of it is just because Will Smith is still very much a current actor, but yeah, they still relate to it. They love it. Mm-hmm. Gilligan's Island, on the other hand, geez, I mean, that really is like a different era. You know, I've been watching reruns of that lately, and I was watching it with the kids, and it's like, remember, like for us, what was our exposure to that show? It was like Fox weekday afternoons, like syndicated reruns of Gilligan's Island, you know?
Yeah.
And that doesn't like exist anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny when you say that now, because again, that was what was on in the afternoon, and I just accepted it. But now that would be the channel that you wouldn't even stop on because you're looking for
Cartoons
something else,
or whatever.
you know, something newer.
Something else. Yeah, it's this is a problem. This is a problem with kids these days. See, they have too many options.
Well, it's weird because now that I'm thinking about it now, but like, excuse me, the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
You know, like I just accepted it. That's what was on the afternoons, and I watched the Brady Bunch. But that was like just this old show that they're like, well, it's cheap and we can rerun it. You know, like,
right?
It's really interesting.
Weird. Point is, we're getting old, Brian.
We're getting old. I went to the Brady Bunch house this past week, actually.
Yeah. By the way, can I just I live vicariously through Brian's adventures that he posts about on Facebook, where he's like, "Hey, yeah, here I am, about 100 feet away from the Brady house," as I creepily take a picture of it.
Well, I found out it was nearby, and so I looked it up, and it's on the way to work for me. So I just took a little detour to check it out, and I was like, sure. I mean, you're like, there it is, sure enough. And it's funny, going along with what you said, it just like hit me this week. I started doing the math, and I'm like, look, I live like several miles from the Brady house. When I was watching that documentary about that recording studio, that Sound City that did like Nirvana, Elton John, all these guys, that's like, 5 minutes from my house. The Back to the Future house, Marty McFly's house, is like 10 minutes from my house.
Yeah, I went there with you. Remember that?
Yeah. And I'm just like kind of blown away. Like the house from E.T., which is a really special movie to me, that's like 25 minutes from it's like all this stuff. It's like I live in this weird little hub. Well, obviously I live in L.A., so
this weird little hub called L.A. where all the movies are made.
Well, okay, I realize how stupid that statement is now, but let me put it this way. When I was a kid growing up, you know what I mean? Like, these are all the things that were very special to me. And these were like, Marty McFly's house wasn't real. Like, that's magic. You know what I mean? That Back to the Future is magic. Like, I don't think of that as being a real thing. That's a movie.
Right.
And it's just so weird that all those things that are special to me are in my vicinity, and I can go there and like snap a picture of myself in front of it. It's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
So anyway.
Well, before we pivot into the other headlines for this episode, I had the opportunity to speak with actress Vera Farmiga, who's an Oscar nominee for Up in the Air, and I'm a pretty big fan of hers. I've been a fan for a while. I've actually been a fan of hers since the early 2000s when she did a TV show called UC Undercover. I
don't even remember that.
Yeah, well, it was one of these shows that, like, just the title was plainly a ripoff of, like, CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, that kind of thing, right? Because it came on, like, the following season after CSI, and it lasted, like 8 episodes or whatever. And so I actually, I bring up that show in our interview. But she's talking up a new film that she's in right now called At Middleton, which is a kind of a quirky rom-com with Andy Garcia. And it's a cute little film. They make for a very, very good couple. They have a nice bit of chemistry, and partially that's just because they're both good actors and they play off each other very well. But we talked about the film, and we talked about a few other things as well. So I thought I'd go ahead and play that interview.
I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Oh, my pleasure.
So right off the bat, I know that the film has been kicking around for a little while, and I remember you signed on. I believe it was April of 2012.
And yeah, I did. Right as I got the offer right as we were filming Conjuring, and then had probably a month off, and then jumped right into it.
Oh, okay. So what was it about this project that piqued your interest?
Well, it was for me. It was an offer that came, and Andy's name was attached, which already piqued my interest. I have tremendous respect for him as an actor. And then it was so fanciful. You have to understand my headspace at the time. time sort of contemplating negative mysticism and like and being terrorized, I read the whimsy of this script. And I felt for it. It was real, I was just, I think after The Conjuring, I was just looking for a rib tickler. I was looking for a romantic comedy, I know. It was at first glance, I knew it was a script that I could run with. It was a character that I could just bolt with. I could.
Well, to that point, I mean, how much of a role did you play in shaping Edith? Did you work with the director to kind of make her yours, or how did that process go?
No, I mean, she was so vivid off on the written page. She is like the writing is so succinct. It's really beautifully rendered. She is who she is, and I literally just had to. Pretty much just say the words and be present with Andy. It's there's a certain measure of of improvisation, sure, of looseness and when you're trying to establish this sort of carefree romantic relationship, you have to be in tune with it. You gotta, every take's got to be fresh. So you've got to leave some room for play. But for the most part, I mean, it's like I wish I could take the credit, but it's Adam Rogers and Glenn German's script that was just it was intact. It was so sharply etched, and for me, like the only strength that I can claim is just sort of allowing myself to depend on on Andy, or Thaisa.
Sure.
Yeah. No, in this case, the writers had the hardest job, not me.
Well, and I mean, just picking up on that, working with Andy, and you mentioned you had some admiration for him from before. What was that like? Just building that relationship together. We're both. I don't know if shy is the right word, but we were pretty discreet. And I just come off Conjuring. We had a brief telephone conversation. We actually forewent any rehearsals. We just kind of laid eyes on each other's, recognized a kind of. I don't know. It was just clear that we were very comfortable in each other's presence. I immediately had this affinity for him. Nice.
And I knew I could I just felt that I could place my confidence in him. So we actually forewent any rehearsals and had the luxury of shooting pretty much in order. So as our friendship deepened, then so did the characters. So that was a luxury. He's just easy to, he's just easy to play opposite of. And I think, that's what chemistry is, really, is feeding well off each other's energy.
Right.
Acknowledging your partner's impulses and responding to them.
Right.
As many of those impulses, and so, it's just such fanciful writing that it's impossible not to have chemistry with this kind of writing.
Right, absolutely. Now, I was reading an article yesterday, and I think this was in Time Magazine. It was talking about sort of the glass ceiling when it comes to women being able to get ahead in the industry. And it got me thinking. I mean, as somebody, you've worked in front of the camera, you've worked behind the camera, and you've been able to build a reputation for a lot of solid work. So certainly, I feel like you're in a position where you could give advice to young women who are coming up, who are trying to get ahead. I mean, what would you tell them?
It's interesting whether, I think with social media now and technology, I think, it's like I think it's possible. It's like if there's it depends. I mean, from a directorial perspective or from an acting perspective, if you're not being given opportunity, then just create your own. And certainly that's what happened with Higher Ground. That's a character that I really wanted to play, and it only came about, as a result of me taking control and taking help. And I was scared to do it, but I had to sort of squelch that fear and say, okay, I'm going to surround myself with the right people as far as crew members go, and they'll bolster wherever I fall flat, and what my weaknesses are. And I just know that the story was, like, to me, the importance of that story was key. And I suppose it's just passion. It's like you have to find. I think you got to be motivated by passion. And if opportunity is not coming your way, then just stop asking for permission. Create your own, write it yourself, film it yourself.
Right.
You can't you can't just wait for inspiration to happen. You gotta chase after it
Right.
with a club.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and now you've also found success working in television and in film, and obviously, I don't want to specifically get into Bates Motel. Obviously, the second season's coming up, but what is the appeal of each medium for you?
They're so interchangeable for me, and just especially in the last decade, I have changed the way that I watch. Like they're all interchangeable. Like Conjuring, and even when there's a Conjuring 2, is no different than episodic Bates. It's the same sort of sequel. Sequel. It's like sequel television, but there's a greater time span in between.
Yeah.
I apply myself exactly in the same way. I find my collaborations and like with crew members and with directors and with fellow actors. It's always the same process. So.
Right.
I don't care whether you watch my project on a television screen, on a laptop screen, on your telephone, or in a surround sound theater, or in a what are those outdoor theaters called?
A drive-in theater.
A drive-in, yeah, drive-in. That's up to you how you see it, and I think it's shifting. I don't know.
There isn't the same stigma.
Time, though, because I have done television before. This is the first time I've had the luxury of a second season.
Right.
And that's wonderful to see a character develop, and hopefully I'll be able to experience that with Conjuring as well.
Right.
If New Line puts number 2, if and when it puts it into effect, because then you really get to the depths of character exploration.
Right.
And I think that's what I cherish about second season of Bates, is that you can go deep and deeper and correct mistakes or like faux pas that you might have, choices that you might have done first season. You can just hone it. It's more of a sculpture. It's something that you can keep tapping away at. So that I found really cool.
Yeah. Well, I used to watch UC Undercover.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Yeah, my first job at television. I just thought the title was so redundant.
Yeah. Well, it was coming off the heels of like CSI.
Yeah.
Is my recollection.
Right. which we shot in Vancouver, and I also shot. What was the other one that I did with Jeff? With Bradley Cooper and Touching Evil, we also shot in Vancouver.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and
those two only went for 13, and Roar. All three of those only went for 13 episodes.
Well, so Bates season 2 really is kind of bold new territory.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually, I'm a media communications professor, and my students saw you earlier today because I'm screening a Manchurian Candidate for them.
Oh, wow. Yeah, sure.
So I was literally like, I'm going to be interviewing Jocelyn later today.
Oh, that's so funny.
So.
Oh my God, that was like 15 years ago now.
Yeah, well, I think it's 10 years because it was 2004, as I recall.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of that movie. So this has been.
Yeah, me too.
It's I feel like I'm doing kind of the one man job of really getting it out to an audience because I feel like not enough people watched it.
Extending the shelf life.
But I'm a big fan of yours, so really this is a huge honor for me to talk to you.
Thank you for that. That's really lovely. Thank you.
All the best success with the film.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Take care.
Okay. Thanks, Zaki.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Very cool, very cool. I'm a big fan of hers too, so I think that's really awesome. When you told me you were going to interview her, I was pretty excited about that. So
Yeah, and she's super. I mean, just very sweet. Like that was my sense from talking to her on the phone. Just very open and genuine person. You can sort of get that sense when you talk to people. So that was nice. That was cool.
yeah, very cool.
Moving on to some other headlines. I know, Brian, a few weeks ago we talked about the film I, Frankenstein, starring Aaron Eckhart as Frankenstein. Yep. And you'll be happy to know that it is at 3% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Zaki, I get no pleasure.
Yes, you do.
I'm not. Am I surprised? No. But I just have to. I just wonder, and I know there's hubris behind this statement, but sometimes I wonder, like, look, I will come into your studio, whatever studio, for free. You show me your slate, give me a red pen, I will save you so much money. Right? I mean, who thought... whatever.
Well, but I mean, this is to your point. This movie has Aaron Eckhart in it. It has Bill Nighy in it. I mean, these guys are respected and not stupid.
No,
as far as we know. So you wonder. Well, you wonder what was the thing that turned the screw on getting them to do this movie.
Well, and that's just it too, because I think that's why it's frustrating to me, is because I like Aaron Eckhart and I want better things for that guy. And if he's going to be in a Frankenstein movie, I sort of expect something.
Sure. And
then when you see this, and that's just it. Because, I saw on Facebook you said something about it and I made some joke about how I wasn't going to go. And then one of your friends said something about oh, well, I'm going to put on a disguise and go because he wants to see it. And you know what? Hey, that's fine. It looks like pulp, you know what I mean? Some people want to go see a pulpy fun, whatever. That's fine, But I don't know. It's just I think it's expectations. I sort of expect something different from the people involved,
right?
And instead, you get something that looks like it could have gone straight to DVD and starred,
not Aaron Eckhart.
Yeah, not Aaron Eckhart, exactly.
I believe. Well, I'll stick to a quote from I believe his name was Brian Hall. A few weeks ago, when he said, "It looks like poop on a stick." They should put that on the box.
Yeah,
Poop
wow. I'd like to meet this Brian Hall.
He's a very wise man.
Hear him speak his mind. Yeah.
Now, so I, Frankenstein is like I said, it's opening today, the day we're recording, and it's looking like it's going to make less than $10 million for its opening weekend. So that's somewhat disastrous.
Yeah.
But in the realm of disappointing openings, a movie that opened last week, Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit, which was meant to sort of restart the Jack Ryan franchise after 4 entries in the last 25 years. And it opened domestically with something like $18 million. So and fourth place, by the way, fourth place. So that's not looking like a promising start to the movie. Whether they end up making more sequels is obviously that's an open question right now. But I find this fascinating, and I did go to see it. Brian, I believe you did not go to see it.
I have not seen it. No.
Now, I have my own theories about this, but why do you think the movie didn't perform that well? I mean, the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, it did okay, about 65% on Rotten Tomatoes, 60% now, I guess. So still certified fresh. So what happened here?
My guess is that nobody knows who Jack Ryan is anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest things, because in the 80s and early 90s, Tom Clancy was like Stephen King, Tom Clancy.
Right.
Those were the top authors of that time.
Right.
And so even if you didn't know who the name Jack Ryan was, it was a Tom Clancy movie.
Right.
That meant something. And so I think... And also, you had Harrison Ford in those films. Alec Baldwin in Hunt for October, but you had Harrison Ford.
Sean Connery was probably the draw for Hunt for Red October.
Sure. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I didn't want to exclude him, but my point being, like with Harrison Ford, it's like it's Harrison Ford. It's a Harrison Ford movie.
Yeah.
So and again, he's not the draw that he was, but at the time he was.
Right.
And so I just have this feeling that character, the Tom Clancy brand, is just, it doesn't mean the same thing to people these days. People don't know what that is.
Right.
It doesn't hold currency.
Right.
So, and I think that I like Chris Pine, but I don't know that he's like, ooh, I got to see the next Chris Pine movie. You know,
Right.
it just, you know, and that's no slam against him. It's just, that's why I don't think it pulled in ginormous numbers.
Yeah.
And there didn't look like anything super specific about it, honestly. I mean, the thing I remember most was he's on a motorcycle at some point. You know what I mean? Like, I will end up seeing it eventually, I know, down the line, but it didn't look like something I had to rush out to go see.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's you know, when you bring up the previous movies, it's interesting to me that, because I was watching the trailer for Clear and Present Danger, which is the second Harrison Ford film. So it's the third one in the series. It's the second one with Harrison Ford. And the trailer says Harrison Ford is Jack Ryan.
Right.
And I thought that was really interesting because it shows how that actor plus that character were a draw.
Right.
Right. That actor plus that character put butts in seats. Right. So in other words, the name of the character had a certain level of currency. Right.
Yeah.
What's, you know, when you look at the series, there's 5 of these things, and I noted this in my review. There's 5 movies, of which 3 are the first Jack Ryan movie.
Yeah, I saw that in your review.
Right. Yeah. So to me, that's inherently problematic when you keep, like, you gotta just get the, you know, and this is kind of the same issue with like Spider-Man. Like, we just started, why are you rebooting again? Right.
Right.
And you wonder why is that, right? Because I think audiences want to see a character continue, and they want to see a certain amount of progression.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
You know, and the broader point, what you mentioned earlier about how audiences don't know who he is. I mean, 12 years since the last movie.
Wow.
I mean, when you think about that, that's basically a kid's entire school life.
Weird. Yeah.
Right? That's an eternity in movie years. So, I mean, I ask my students, oh, you know Jack Ryan? No. And then I'm like, why would you? Like, there's no reason,
Sure.
you know? So, and it got me thinking, like, why do people go to see James Bond movies? Really, it's because they go to see James Bond movies.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like the thing with Bond is like, well, is Bond, you know, nobody asks like, oh, is Bond relevant anymore? It doesn't even matter.
Right.
Because it's just a thing that's present in the culture, and you feel like, well, why has Paramount been sitting on this franchise here?
Yeah, but I don't think Jack Ryan will ever or could ever be Bond, though. I mean, he's not
I agree with that.
He doesn't have like the same distinguishing traits.
Sure,
that you can carry over from actor to actor.
Yeah,
character traits. Yeah,
but I wonder if that's the mistake of the filmmakers, right? Like, get product in the marketplace, and give the character currency by virtue of making him current.
Yeah,
as opposed to having to sort of do this reinvention every couple of years, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, from my end, I thought the movie was fine, you know, and I think, you know, I mentioned this, like, I've never been disappointed with a Jack Ryan movie. I enjoy all of them. I enjoyed this one too, but will I, you know, will it turn the needle for somebody who has no familiarity with it? I don't think so.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
and it's like you're saying. I mean, as much as I like Chris Pine, I think he's a cool guy. He seems like just a genuinely laid back, chill guy, and I think he's a talented guy too. I don't think he's a draw.
Right.
I don't think anybody is like, oh, let's go see that new Chris Pine movie, and that's not a slam on the guy necessarily.
No.
But it is sort of acknowledgement of where, you know, where he's at. You know.
Yeah. You know what's funny? This is kind of old man talk, but I was flipping Only the Lonely was on HBO last night with John Candy.
Okay.
And I'd never seen that movie, and I just stopped on it for like 2 minutes. And John Candy was just talking, and I'm like, damn it. Like,
Yeah.
There is no other John Candy. Like,
Right.
that guy. I mean, you can get a guy who's really funny and who can, make you laugh, but like that guy, like just had whatever it is, he had it.
Right.
And I don't feel, and Harrison Ford, whatever it is, he had it. Like like I said, unfortunately, it's sort of diminishing now in some ways, but like, I just don't feel like there are a lot of people that have it anymore.
Well, what is it?
And maybe it changes. Maybe it changes over time.
Right.
What people want out of things. I don't know, but as much flack as Tom Cruise gets,
yeah,
I think he's got it. You know what I mean? Like he's a guy, like he's a commanding presence.
Sure.
And I don't think I don't think Chris Pine has a commanding presence. He's a charming guy, and he's like, I'm with him to the from beginning of the movie to the end of the movie, but like he's not a commanding. I don't know. Yeah,
no, I mean, I get what you're saying. I wonder why that is, though.
I don't know.
I mean, because it's one thing to say, well, he's not a commanding presence for me or for our generation, sure. But it seems like it's also not really playing across the generations either.
Yeah.
That's what's of interest to me. Like I wonder why that is. And really, this isn't to sort of dog on Chris Pine only, because it seems like
no,
there aren't any comparable presences like that. There aren't any comparable Harrison Fords.
No, like the people that you like and the people that are really popular, and then Harrison Ford.
Right.
Like there's nobody there. Like when we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but like when you talk about someone filling in the shoes of Indiana Jones down the line, it's like impossible. Right. It's impossible.
Right.
Like, there just aren't actors like that anymore that could like do that. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Or like with, Jack Nicholson and the Joker, you know what I mean? It's like, what? But you're like, oh, damn. Like when he did the Joker, you're like, oh, okay. Like whatever your feelings are on that movie. I mean, he's Jack Nicholson, you know what I mean? And like I don't know. I guess I'm getting a little lost in my thoughts here, but
well, okay. I mean, I think that's a good pivot point to now, whether Jack Ryan continues on, whether it continues on with Chris Pine, or yet another reboot where Jack Ryan is in high school. I think we're just gonna keep moving it backwards.
Hall monitor. Yeah.
Yeah. You brought up Indiana Jones, and I think this is like I said, it's a good way to transition. A few months ago, I think last month, Disney acquired the distribution rights for all future Indiana Jones movies.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a big deal. Why, Brian?
There will be another Indiana Jones movie now.
That was my sense.
Yeah, like you could speculate previously, and Harrison Ford wants to do it, and George Lucas probably wants to do it, but it was like it was up in the air whether or not it was going to happen. But if Disney's going to pay for Indiana Jones, there's going to be another Indiana Jones movie. Right.
So exactly. I mean, they've made clear that any future Indiana Jones, they want to have it unencumbered by a pre-existing deal with Paramount, and I think that was the previous encumbrance before. So the discussion, the natural next question is, what happens next with Indiana Jones? Right. So I was looking at an article on a website called Spinoff, and it posited several potential outcomes. So I'm going to run down those potential future directions, and then you can sort of tell me where you come down, either on some of them or all of them or none of them. Right. So option number one is to just continue in the same direction. Mm-hmm. In other words, another sequel with Harrison Ford, and we carry Indiana Jones's timeline further on. Right. Next up, we do the next generation of Indiana Jones. So Wisconsin Jones, or whatever, his son or daughter. Right.
Yeah.
Next option is we reboot. So we start with Indiana Jones in college, a young Indiana Jones, if you will. The other option is animation, continuing in animation. Either you get Harrison Ford to do the voice, or you don't. And then recasting. So you continue on with World War II adventures with a new actor stepping in into the role.
Mm-hmm.
And those are basically the primary options. So where do you come down? Now, and by the way, let's establish as a given, like we talked about earlier, there will be some form of continuation of Indiana Jones. We can pretty much accept that. Let's assume that as a given. So where do we go?
So many thoughts. So I'll say this first because you just made me think this with your last point. I think what's so weird, the thought for me about Indiana Jones could keep going because it's always about what he's after, right? You could have 50 Indiana Jones movies and like come up with these different things for him to find.
Sure.
Right? But I think that's tricky because the first one was in 81. So I'm terrible at math. 32 years ago, something like that. Yeah. So there's only been 4 films in that amount of time. So, and one of them most people don't really like. The you know what I mean? One. The fourth one. Sure. And so you have like three
I don't know
items.
Who would dislike that. I mean, certainly.
Yeah, and I don't mean to get on that thing, but there's 3 items that everyone can name, like, you know, okay, the Temple of Doom, and there's the Ark, and there's the whatever. And so I think that the thing is when you space it out that much, they become precious.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so like when you do like another item, you're like, well, I don't know if this works for me. Like it's no Ark, it's no whatever. So I think like with the James Bond movies, when you do one every several years, you just get used to the idea of a new villain. You get used to the idea. So I think it's going to be really hard for people our age to get used to that, I think.
Right.
So anyway, that's my first thought. It's really weird when you said animation. For some reason, that I was like, I don't know if I would have ever thought that was a good idea, but when you said it, I was like, okay,
yeah,
I could see that.
Now,
anyway,
why?
Because I like the dirt. You know what I mean? I like the grit to those films,
right?
But at the same time, I mean, I think in animation, you can do everything that you can't do now with Harrison Ford. Like, you can keep him alive in some ways.
Right.
And you can keep the spirit alive of those movies. Something about the polish of animation, I feel like, wouldn't make it the same, but you could still have the spirit of those adventures in an interesting way, I think. Recasting, man, I always try to keep an open mind, but that'd be really difficult for me. I don't know.
But see, here's me. I feel like recasting is probably the most viable option.
It has to happen. It has to. That's what they have to do. Yeah.
Right. And that's going to be a friggin' difficult thing to do.
Can you imagine?
I mean, I mean, that's the place that no one wants to be, but it's like whoever comes next after Harrison Ford will have the hardest time.
Yeah.
But then after that, it'll just be a thing that happens and we're used to it.
Yeah. I mean, we will be the old guys in the rocking chairs, like, you know, yeah, we saw Indiana Jones in the theater. It cost us 5 Bs, which is what they called a quarter at the time. You know, like we'll be the guys who are like complaining about it, and our kids will be like, whatever.
Right.
But, yeah. Sorry, all my gears are turning right now.
Well, because here's the way I see. Here's what I see happening. I see one more Harrison Ford, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
Kind of one for the road to fix the mistake of the previous one.
Yeah.
And then after that, I see like a 5 to 7 year gap, and then we have a new actor playing a younger Indiana Jones. And that's how it'll be forever and always until the end of time.
Yeah.
You know?
It'll be interesting because I think I didn't even know it. When I was a kid, I just enjoyed them. But when I became an adult and sort of a student of film, and I didn't realize that they made those movies sloppy on purpose. You know what I mean? Like they're supposed to be B movies.
Huh, interesting.
You know, like the way that they're shot, the way that they're acted. You know, the villain, like Belloc. I mean, Belloc like holds up an idol and cackles into the sun. You know what I mean? Like they're made a certain way on purpose, and that's why they're charming and zippy and fun. So I just you wonder if that will carry on. Like, is that what will carry on with it?
You want to see? I mean, I'm same as Star Wars, right? I'm curious to see what other filmmakers do in that playground.
Yeah,
I think there's something to that,
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of an interesting, to be continued. Let's see what happens with that.
Yeah.
Other news while we talk about franchises, we have Michael Douglas has joined the cast of Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Now you guys talked about Ant-Man a few weeks ago when I wasn't there. How are you feeling about Ant-Man based on everything you're hearing?
I don't know a whole lot about the character, I'll be honest. I mean, I've read a couple comics where he's like a side character.
Yeah, I don't think anybody, like even fans of Ant-Man, don't know much about Ant-Man.
Yeah,
because I don't believe there are fans of Ant-Man.
right. No, but we talked last time. I mean, it's an Edgar Wright movie for me.
Right.
And to see an Edgar Wright movie in the Marvel Universe, like I said it last time, but I'm more excited about this than I am the next Avengers.
Right, just for the novelty of that.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, like I'm gonna see something that's gonna like blow my hair back, whether or not even like the movie. Like I know what I'm going to see will blow my hair back.
See, and what has me intrigued is the casting of Michael Douglas, because what it does is it situates this film as kind of a legacy story. Because Michael Douglas plays Hank Pym, who is like the original Ant-Man, and in the comics, Hank Pym is like co-founder of the Avengers, and he's kind of like a major character, right? And then you have the second Ant-Man. So what this film does is it takes that legacy into account. So it says, well, there was one person who had the identity, and then now we have the younger person who's going to be played by Paul Rudd. I'm like that like we've never seen that in a superhero movie. That's like a trope in superhero comics, but we've never seen it in a movie.
Right.
The closest we've come is like Mask of Zorro.
Right.
But that idea of the passing of the torch, and what's also intriguing to me is that the Michael Douglas stuff is going to be set in like the 50s and 60s or 60s and 70s, whatever. But that's kind of like filling in this in between of the Marvel movie universe.
Mm-hmm.
So, because if you look at the timeline, you've basically got, Captain America, World War II, and then we got Iron Man shows up. So there's this big gap of time, that the unexplored gap of time. So they're filling that in. I mean, I'm always amazed at how thorough they are in mapping out this movie universe.
Yeah.
So that's now speaking of the Marvel movie universe, I noted this, and Sean isn't with us unfortunately, but on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, I don't know if you saw this, they have Bill Paxton making an appearance. He's going to be on like a mini arc, like 4 or 5 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know if you heard that, but,
no.
But I read that story and I was just like, I think that arc is called Sophie's Choice for Sean Coyle. because and
Sean is quite the Bill Paxton fan.
Exactly. Sean is a passionate Bill Paxton fan, and he's just as passionately not a fan of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I feel like a supervillain could not have dreamed up a better like torture.
Yeah, right.
This, you know what it's like? This is like the monkey's paw type. Like Sean is like, I wish Bill Paxton would do a TV show, and then the finger bends. And it's like,
but he's on his like most loathed show.
This just in: Bill Paxton will be appearing on TV. Yes, on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
It's funny.
So that's happening, and then related to that, also, I just saw an interview with Sam Jackson, who had a 9-picture contract with Marvel. 9 pictures, and now that in and of itself is pretty amazing. But that contract is almost up.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently they've used 7 of his 9 contracted appearances.
Wow.
Not including an appearance he cameoed on the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show.
Uh-huh.
So I think the 9 appearances, I'm doing this from memory, but I believe he's in Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, He's not in Iron Man 3, is he? No, he's not. Captain America, The Avengers, Captain America 2, and Avengers 2. So there's 7.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that when it comes time to re-up, Marvel's going to have to pony up some big money.
He's going to show up and be like, what's in your wallet?
Not money, because I got it, right? I mean, it's funny because the Marvel people are legendarily frugal, shall we say.
Sure.
And, Sam Jackson supposedly, Kevin Smith told this story on one of his podcasts where this was right before the announcement of Avengers at Comic-Con, and they were going to have the whole cast come out. And so Samuel Jackson and Kevin Smith are kind of talking, behind the scenes, behind the curtain or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he says, "Oh, you excited about doing Avengers or whatever?" And he's like, "Oh man, these Marvel guys, they're cheap."
Yeah.
So
well, there you go.
there you go. Sam
and then
Jackson's,
if you tell Kevin Smith anything, we'll get to read about it tomorrow.
It stays in utter confidence. So so that's what's happening with that. Now, also, actually, while we're talking about doing jobs for the money, we got to talk about this Bill Murray story.
Oh yeah, this is great.
So a few years ago, not even a few years ago, this is like 10 years ago, Bill Murray did the voice of Garfield in the Garfield movie.
Yeah.
Garfield movies. There's 2 of them.
Yeah.
I have not seen the second one. I saw the first one.
Yeah.
And I think it's fine. I say,
It's an alright kids movie, yeah.
It's fine. And people give him a lot of grief for why would you do this? You don't do Ghostbusters 3, but you do 2 Garfield movies.
Right.
And so Bill Murray did a Reddit chat where somebody asked him, well, what's the, why'd you do Garfield, right?
Yeah.
And he has this crazy story. Now, did you read that story?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I read, I'm a big Redditor. So.
Okay, so maybe you can paraphrase what happened there.
Yeah, well, long story short, he got the screenplay and it said Joel Cohen on it.
Right.
And Joel Cohen is one of the Cohen brothers.
Right.
But this was not that Joel Cohen. This was another Joel Cohen.
This is Joel.
I guess Cohen brothers are Coen.
Coen, exactly.
And this Cohen was Cohen. So he was like, I love the Coens. I love Joel Cohen. Joel Cohen did a, Garfield. Okay, sure. Yeah, sign me up. Little did he know. and this is the funny thing about Bill Murray is he doesn't have an agent, right? So the only way you can get Bill Murray in your movie is you have to figure out how to get a hold of him. This is like legendary. And so there's no agent to tell him like, hey, Bill, this isn't what you think it is. I mean, he's just, okay, yeah, Joel Cohen, no problem. So apparently he shows up and he's in the recording booth and he's reading it and he's like, this is not very good, and I can't remember exactly what he said here, but where is it here? He basically called it out, like, this is not very good. I think he actually literally said that. This is not good.
Right.
And come to find out that that Joel Cohen was behind the glass that day.
Oops.
Yeah, but he said that he was like, okay, I can fix this. So he tried to come up with different lines. And he said, what was supposed to be like a 2-hour session became like a 6-hour session. And so every day he would go in and I have it in front of me. He said it took like 6 or 7 hours for one reel. And a reel is about 15 minutes. So he basically tried to fix the whole movie, which is kind of noble, actually, if you think about it. You got to respect it, right? Like he's like, my voice.
He's like, what can I say that will make this funny?
Yeah, but then he said he started painting himself into corners because the whole movie had been shot. Right? So it's like you can only do so much because then the actors are going to do whatever they're going to do and you can't fix it.
Right. And
so that was one of his stipulations. I guess I'm assuming when they signed him for 1, they signed him probably for 2 or 3. So he had to come back for the sequel. And he just said, look, the only thing is like, don't shoot it until I can read it or I can come up, like give it input. And he's like, and then sure enough,
they did it anyway.
They shot it and I was back in a booth and I am trying to fix it again.
He gave an interview a couple years ago to Vulture where he actually talked about the same thing. And he talks about the same thing about how he thought it was Joel Coen and whatnot. And the interviewer at Vulture says, and the pieces fall into place. And it says here, Bill Murray, he shakes his head sadly. At least they had what's her name, the mind reader, pretty girl, really curvy girl. Body's 1 in a million. What's her name? Help me. You know who I mean. Jennifer Love Hewitt? Right. At least they had her in good-looking clothes. Best thing about the movie. But that's all ugly. That's inappropriate. That's why when they say any regrets at the end of Zombieland, I say, well, maybe Garfield.
But you know what? That's just the thing. Like, Bill Murray, it's funny because over time, everybody's always loved Bill Murray, but Bill Murray has become almost like mythic these days. You know what I mean? And it's just like, he can kind of do no wrong. It's even funnier that like he would do such a crap movie and be like, I thought it was the other Coen.
People are like, oh, Bill Murray. You know?
Oh, Bill. Yeah, gotta love that guy.
Well, you know, it's Bill Murray, to me anyway, I put on the same level. Like, Bill Murray talking about, like, any movie that he's made and Michael Keaton talking about any movie that he's made. Like, I just want to hear what they have to say.
Oh, yeah. You got to appreciate his candor. I mean, the fact that he would even tell that story.
Right.
You know, but he's not, I don't feel like he's even disrespectful in a weird way. He's just being honest, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Plus, I mean, there's something to, you know, getting dogged on by Bill Murray, I would think.
Nah, you know what? I'm saying that as not Joel Coen. So, you know, maybe it's a little bit different for that guy.
As not wrong Joel Coen.
Yeah. But no, AMA, if you go on Reddit, they do AMAs. They're called AMAs. It's Ask Me Anything.
Okay.
And they had a ton of good ones. They had Spike Jonze today. They've had Obama on before. You know, I like Bill Murray one. And they had Mark Hamill this yesterday, I think it was. So, I mean,
right. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's cool because it's not like, you know, publicists, you know, approved questions. It's just whoever it is online asking these questions, and normally they answer. So it's pretty cool.
Now, as we talk about doing gigs for the money, which I think at the end of the day, Bill Murray got a lot of money to just do his voice. So I don't think it was actual backbreaking labor for him.
Oh no.
This is a story I thought it was. This is worth pointing out, just for the sheer ridiculousness that is Hollywood. And this is on Deadline.com, which is that Fox and MGM are now both being sued in a multi-million-dollar Weekend at Bernie's profits lawsuit. And really, the reason I bring this up is just for this is kind of a historical thing. This is the one and only time that the phrase multi-million-dollar will be mentioned in the same sentence as Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah. I wonder if half the people listening even know what Weekend at Bernie's is. I mean, depending on your age.
I don't care.
Obviously, people our age know what it is.
Yes.
Oh, I do. Yeah. I mean, the premise of the movie, for people who don't know, if there's anyone who doesn't know what the premise of the movie is, it's funny, for people who probably have never even seen it or even know what the images from it look like, you at least know what that premise is.
Right.
Like, basically, these two guys go to stay with their boss for a weekend, who's like really rich, and they find him dead, but they want to keep the weekend going. So they basically pretend like he's alive. And they come up with all these crazy contraptions to like make him wave at people, and they basically lug around a corpse all weekend. And it's a comedy.
And it's comedy gold, really. It's you know, that's the true genius. You know,
when I was younger, the way that I would play with my brother when we were in like high school or junior high, I would go like Weekend at Bernie's, and then I'd flop on my brother and go weightless and like fall. You know, we'd tumble to the ground, and he'd be like, "Stop it!" Like try to push me off. I'd be like, Weekend at Bernie's, and just like lay on him, and he had to like roll me off of him.
Now,
Yeah.
First of all, the fact that this movie came out in 1989.
Okay.
Right. I mean, I remember I went to see Star Trek V. I was 10 years old, and I saw a trailer for Weekend at Bernie's. So it was 1989. And here we are 25 years later having a lawsuit over profits from this movie.
Yeah. So what are the deets? What's the details here? What's the guy saying?
Well, a couple of things, actually, I learned in the process of reading this thing. Weekend at Bernie's is directed by Ted Kotcheff, who I'm assuming you don't know his name, but he directed First Blood, which in my opinion is a legitimately good movie. So I'm like, how do you go from there to there? Like that's odd, number one. But it says here now this okay. Here's the money quote right here. Stating that the gross box office receipts for what they call, quote, one of the most hilarious and endearing goofball comedies of the 80s. That might be severely overestimating how, the appeal of the film. But the duo says they've been and continue to be deprived of at least hundreds of millions of dollars. I predict this going to a judge and the judge dismissing it as soon as he gets to the part where it says hilarious and endearing.
Well, so from what I understand is they feel like they were promised certain royalties.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you're the director, then you probably own a piece of the film, and I'm sure something sketchy is going on somewhere. But let's be honest. This is, it's Weekend at Bernie's. How much money do you think you're owed?
But that's just it. I mean, that's such a weird thing. Now that I work in this industry, I mean, it's just that's how people make their money. I mean, you know what I mean? You work on a movie and you get paid that residual money. I said royalties, residuals.
Sure.
You get these residuals for the rest of your life, and I worked for this director one time, and I remember, getting his checks for movies he did, 15 years ago. That's how they make their income,
Yeah.
And so, I mean, just for someone like him who's probably not, not making doing a whole lot right now, and he depends on it, and
Sure.
And it's funny because, I mean, it is easy to just be like, oh, what a stupid movie and whatnot. But at the same time, I mean, it's corrupt, for a studio to not be doing what they should be doing. And they probably thought they could sweep it under the rug. It's been so much time. But I mean, these studios, the way that they do their math, movie math, it's evil. Yeah. It's evil what they do. I mean, according to movie math, Harry Potter hasn't made a profit.
Right. Batman from '89 is still in the red.
Yeah, which is obviously not true.
Right.
But they can figure out how to make it that way. And then these people who are they're workers. You know what I mean? It's their job.
Right.
And they need their money too. So it's kind of sketch.
By the way, there was a sequel to Weekend at Bernie's. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, I saw it.
Okay.
I was 11 or something, or 12 at the time. So Weekend at Bernie's is hilarious to me. I'm 12. So the sequel comes out. My brother, myself, and a friend of mine, we went and saw it right in the theater, and we were the only ones in the theater.
Okay.
I remember this very vividly. And the whole premise of the second one is some voodoo curse.
Yeah.
Gets put on Bernie so he can now magically walk. And there's a scene in the movie where someone puts a harpoon through his head.
Wow.
And they put reins on him, and they use him like a rickshaw.
Charming.
And I remember we were just like, okay, we're done. I remember us getting up in the theater and leaving.
I'm wondering who suffered the greatest bout of depression when they received the script for Weekend at Bernie's 2. Was it Andrew McCarthy, Jonathan Silverman, or Terry Kaiser playing the corpse?
Right.
Because seriously, if you're Andrew McCarthy, you're like, I was in Pretty in Pink.
Right.
How did I end up here?
Yeah. Yeah. Them's the breaks.
Them's the breaks, yeah. So that's unfortunate. And speaking of the breaks, now Quentin Tarantino was betrayed.
Oh, this is a good story.
This is bonkers.
Interesting story. Let's not say a good story.
Yeah, it is a story. So Quentin Tarantino, his next project was a film called The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
And he was in the process of writing it, and he had reached out to a small group of people, of personal friends who
six people.
This is like Clue.
It is. We know the players. That's what's so crazy about this. Sorry, go on.
So it's like a first draft. It's not a completed. He's not 100% there, but he's showing it to a group of close confidants to presumably get feedback. I'm assuming.
Yeah, people that he was interested. I think it was like a couple producer people and then actors that I assume he wanted in the movie.
Yeah. So and this is going to be a Western that he was going to make.
Yeah.
And then dun dun dun. A leak. So it leaks onto the the premise of the film leaks onto the internet, or parts of the script?
The script is out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at that point, Tarantino is like, you know what? This isn't going to be my next movie.
Yeah.
Because I've been betrayed. That's his.
Yeah.
That's his.
It wasn't so much about people knowing the plot or anything. It was he just felt betrayed. I mean, 6 people.
Yeah.
Like you can figure it out.
So who are those 6 people, Brian? Let's do
Let's
do a little investigation here.
The only ones I remember there was like some producer guy, and then there was Bruce Dern.
Yep.
Hot off Nebraska, and then there's Michael Madsen, who's been in Tarantino movies since the first movie. Who else? Who else was it? Zaki?
Tim Roth was one of them.
Oh, Tim Roth, right?
Who's also been in Tarantino movies since the first one.
Yep.
And the producer you're referring to is Reginald Hudlin, who produced Django.
Okay.
He's one of the producers.
I don't know. Seems kind of sketchy to me. That guy.
That guy.
No, I'm just kidding. Well, most people assume that it came from Bruce Dern because he is repped by CAA.
Uh-huh.
And I guess Madsen's by some, sort of more like boutique agency. Anyway, CAA is like the Death Star of agencies. And apparently they were going out trying to poach other people to be in this movie using that script. And so it had to come from Dern. And if you think about it, I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, he's like an old guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? His agent probably was like, hey, yeah, let me see that. And he's like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he doesn't think about things leaking on the internet.
I feel like you're assuming he's his character from
Nebraska.
From Nebraska.
No. But I mean, I doubt that when he gets something, he's like, I hope this doesn't end up on the internet.
Right.
You know what I mean? In the same way that someone like you or I would.
Right.
He probably trusts people. And, now we know you can't trust anybody. So
I know it's very interesting because Tim Roth has basically been ruled out.
Yeah.
Due to his close friendship, presumably with So per Tarantino, this is a quote from him. He says, "I hadn't given it to Christoph Waltz. I haven't given it to Sam Jackson. I gave it to 3 MFing actors. We met in a place. And I put it in their hands. Reggie Hudlin's agent never had a copy. It's got to be either the agents of Dern or Madsen. Please name names." So somebody is going to get fired.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. What's interesting is what you said is he feels so betrayed by this. He's like, okay, not my next movie. I'm done with this. Right. It's like, wow. Yeah, I mean, all his scripts have leaked.
Right.
I mean, Inglourious Bastards, what was that? I remember, it becomes like a ritual. Like you hear about the Tarantino movie, in a couple months, I'll have the script. You know what I mean? And then that's just kind of how it goes.
So you're the one who leaked it.
No, what's funny though is I have never read them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always like being surprised by his movies. I never want to know. But it's kind of a weird thing. And he said that he was thinking about publishing it, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah. Now here's okay. So some of the conversation I've seen online has been, oh, he's just being a spoiled brat. And
I think the way that he... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, yeah, I mean, I didn't perceive it that way.
I feel like he talks like someone who sounds spoiled just because of the way that he talks. And I'm just, I'm just being honest. But at the same time, I don't think he's wrong at all to feel betrayed.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's wrong to feel the way that he feels. I think he just talks. You know how he is, the way he talks.
I do know. We hang out a lot, and yeah.
Yeah.
That Quentin... That's a very popular phrase in my house. That Quentin. Yeah, he just shows up at my house swearing, using the N-word. It's a big problem.
Oh man, that guy. Pulp Fiction's been on AMC recently.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that movie. That movie's poetry.
But
I just am just mesmerized whenever that movie is on.
But how poetic can it be on AMC?
Well, that's a good point.
Right.
Yeah.
Does it have anything?
It's very staccato poetry. There's a lot of blank spaces.
Now, speaking of blank spaces, there's a blank space in the summer of 2015 because the Superman Batman movie has been delayed.
Say what?
I know. That was like we heard that just across the country in unison.
Yeah.
Once
all people, fanboys, were say what?
Now it was going to open mid-July 2015, and now it's taken Warner Brothers is putting it in the first weekend of May slot for 2016. So a couple questions here actually. First of all, what do you think the delay is about?
Well, I think it makes sense that it's possibly just they need more time. It's an ambitious movie. They want to get the script right, and that's A-okay by me. I'd rather wait a year and have a good script.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theorist in me wonders, because remember you said that there was some sort of, like a producer on Twitter was calling it Justice League.
Right.
My thought is perhaps it's evolving. Maybe they had something and they're like turning it into something else, and they need some time to develop that. That could be. Maybe it's sort of still evolving.
Sure.
And then the other theory is that Ben Affleck got injured.
Yeah.
And there's a delay going on. So,
well, I mean, they've been denying that up and down.
Yeah. And I mean, if it is the case, like, I guess why lie about? Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
They want us to think he's actually Batman.
Right.
Yeah. Now, interestingly, and this is note to our listeners, on the other podcast that I co-host, Diffused Congruence, I interviewed Rehan Jalali, who is the fitness trainer who, first of all, whenever I talk to him, I get incredibly depressed about myself.
Oh, dude. I listened to it while I was sitting on my butt at work eating a donut. Yeah. That's no joke. And he was talking about fitness the whole time and eating right.
Yeah, you listen to him, you're like, well, it's just depressing. But he's the guy who's getting Affleck into shape. So if you've been seeing those stories of, like, because Affleck is doing Gone Girl right now, and they were worried because he was getting too big for Batman, and they were like, you're getting too big. Like that's all Rehan's handiwork.
Yep.
So a little bit of a plug.
It's a good listen. It's a good listen.
Give that a listen.
Look it up.
But you know what's interesting to me is it's kind of like my own reactions to this film, because like this news breaks, it's been delayed, and a lot of people are like, no, and then they died. Which is, I don't know why I would make that joke. That's horrible. But
it made me laugh.
There you go. I win. So. What's weird to me is that my reaction's like, all right.
Yeah. Same. Same. And you know what? That was arguably the movie of that summer.
Right.
I mean, with Star Wars being pushed to December, that was like the movie of 2015.
But you know what's
summer
weird
2015
is that I think part of the move is very smart, because otherwise it becomes Avengers versus this, and that's the narrative, and right. But I'm more like looking forward to the Avengers than I am to this movie. I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm just kind of like, all right, like, I don't know. It's weird, because I feel like I'm betraying my inner fanboy.
In what, with which?
Well, to the extent that I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm like, because I'm not super excited about this.
I feel the same way, and I wonder if it's because of The Dark Knight, frankly. I mean, say what you will about Dark Knight Rises, but I mean, The Dark Knight's The Dark Knight. Like, that's a modern... That's going to be a modern classic.
Sure.
And people that don't even like comic book movies like or appreciate that movie. And we just know this isn't going to be The Dark Knight.
Right.
And that's okay. That's what they have to do. But then I can't have the anticipation for it that I would be feeling for like a Nolan Batman movie necessarily. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, sure. And the thing is this is how I feel about it. Like Superman, Man of Steel rather. I liked it. I don't think about it too much.
Yeah.
It was it kind of looked gray. You know what I mean? Like, so I just know that this movie's going to look like that, but Batman's going to be in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that there's anything special about it. That it's like, well, like Star Wars, I don't know what that's going to be. Like, I'm dying to see that because I have no clue what to expect. I feel like I know what to expect out of this one.
Yeah.
So it's not as disastrous to me that I have to wait a little bit longer for it.
Right. Now, like I said, this was supposed to open mid-July. Once Warner Brothers pushed it away, Marvel saw an opportunity, and they're like, all right, well, we're going to put Ant-Man there.
Yeah.
So all the people who are waiting for Superman to fight Batman, all that energy will be directed into the Ant-Man movie.
Yeah.
Because it's just like a one-to-one. No, but actually, what's more interesting to me is the fact that the first weekend of May is like the Marvel weekend.
Yeah, well, that is an interesting point because July and May both, those are summer films, but those are very different months.
Yeah.
For Batman to go from July. I mean, July is like usually the July 4th film or whatever it is.
Right.
That's the movie.
Right.
And May's filled with these other big ones that taper off middle of the summer because they already open so early. So it's interesting that Batman's going to be the May movie.
Well, but here's the interesting thing. Marvel had already said that they have a movie that they're going to be putting in that weekend.
But they haven't announced what it is?
They're just like, we have a movie. Like this, Marvel is now a big enough kid that they can be like, hey, back off.
Right.
So to me, this is like nerd West Side Story that's about to break out. Right?
West Side Story.
Right? Because DC, these guys are like, oh yeah, we got like this, now who's gonna blink, right?
That's interesting. I wonder what it could be.
Because Avengers it would have to be something big, right? You can't be like, oh well, we have Doctor Strange or whatever. Like it would need to be something like who's gonna move is my question. I think that's a plot thread that's worth following. Now, by the way, speaking of sort of big summer movies in 2015, one movie I haven't had a chance to discuss with you is the new Terminator movie.
Yeah,
which is coming. It's called Terminator Genesis, which I believe means the theme song is going to be Invisible Touch. That's I'm hoping anyway.
Yeah, last synthesizer.
Yeah, exactly. Phil Collins will be the voice of Skynet, which would be awesome. Now, directed by Alan Taylor. We talked about this before, of the Alan Taylor collection.
Yeah.
Jason Clarke is going to be John Connor. In this.
Sounds good.
Now, what do you think about this? Now, what do you know about the premise of the movie, and what do you think about the casting so far? Because we've also
that's not what I thought you're gonna talk about with it.
Oh, okay. Well, what would you like to?
Well, you heard about Megan Ellison, right?
How she dropped out of the funding,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So we should probably backfill this information here. Megan Ellison is a financier through her company called Annapurna, I believe, and her brother is David Ellison, who has a company called Skydance. And let me just say, I would love to be a part of that family where each sibling gets their own movie financing company. I think that's amazing. But so they teamed up to buy the rights that were on auction, right? And I believe that's the chronology. The rights, because whoever had the rights before, I forget, they were the people who did T3, they went bankrupt. The Terminator property went up for auction. These two siblings swooped in, got the rights, got the movie set up at Paramount. And now, as of this morning, Megan Ellison says, tag, I'm out.
Yeah.
Why did she do that?
Well, what she said was because the company that she runs has been known to sort of make left to center movies. Like they financed Her, the Spike Jonze movie.
Sure.
They did Zero Dark 30, which now that we all know what that is, it's one thing. But I mean, this Osama bin Laden movie directed by Catherine Bigelow seemed kind of like, what's this? At the time. And, she does those sorts of, she did The Master, Paul Thomas Anderson's movie, so she funds these really interesting movies that otherwise might not get made. Right. People might not pay for them. So she's kind of a hero to people who really enjoy good cinema.
Right.
And so when it was announced that she was going to be behind the next Terminator movie, when you say Terminator 5 to me, I'm like, ugh, yawn.
Okay.
But like when you say Megan Ellison is behind Terminator 5, I'm like, what?
Okay, so that was your reaction.
Yeah, I was like, go on. Because she she puts her stamp on stuff. She makes sure it's of a certain caliber.
Okay.
And so, good or not, I knew it was going to be interesting. It would be different. It wasn't going to be McGee's Terminator. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, so her backing out is like, well, she said it's just not in her company's wheelhouse, and it's not.
Yeah.
To be fair, so she had her hand in it. It's going to go. And now she's like, okay, so I'm going to exit stage left here and leave it up to my brother over here. Yeah. So that could either make people be like, oh, okay, I guess that kind of makes sense. Or wait, why is she leaving? You know what I mean?
So okay, you are the Terminator fan on this show.
Sure. Really?
Yeah, but I hate Terminator. No, I think
no way.
I think you're the biggest Terminator fan.
Okay, that might be.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
That's fair, right? Like,
That's fair. That's fair.
We all have our, Sean is the Ninja Turtles fan. You're the Terminator fan, and I'm a fan of people everywhere. I'm just a loving person. But I mean, you're already kind of feeling a little skeptical about this film, right? Is that fair?
Yeah. Because without James Cameron, that's the key ingredient. Like, you can't have chocolate chip cookies without chocolate chips, right? And like James Cameron is chocolate chips. I Terminator.
I want that to be like your quote. James Cameron is chocolate chips. And I'll just let people take it out of context. Okay, so we accept that okay, we don't have James Cameron, and I think in a perfect world there would be no more Terminator. Yes?
Yes. That's correct.
So yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, like the last movie, the fourth one, divested me of any need to ever revisit the franchise.
Yep. Yeah.
So given that, what are you hearing about this new one? I mean, what is it about, and does it make you optimistic?
Well, I don't know a whole lot about it. I just know that it's a new trilogy.
Yeah.
Apparently, see, I don't know a whole lot because I'm mixing up some information because at one point Arnold was involved and it was going to be Justin Lin.
That's correct. Well, Justin Lin, right. That was a few years ago, but Arnold is still attached.
Right. But they were like developing something together. They were working on something, so and this is completely different.
Completely different, correct.
Right, like a new trilogy. Yeah, with Arnold involved. And the thing is again, like Arnold, Arnold did an AMA actually the other day on Reddit, and everybody's like, I love Arnold. He's a very charismatic guy. But at the same time, he's older.
How does he
doesn't make sense.
How does he convey his charisma on a Reddit chat?
Oh, it so works. It totally does. He had everybody in the palm of his hand.
Really?
I mean, he's so charming. And like, someone wanted him to record a video to say one of his quotes. I don't remember what it was, but anyway, he did it, and he recorded it, uploaded it, and there's like video of him saying stuff for people. And anyway, seems like whatever, Arnold. But talk about another like larger than life, movie presence that I love The Rock, but Schwarzenegger. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't know. Anyway, so the thing is like Terminator to me is James Cameron and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Sure.
Right? And Terminator 3, I like it the least of all three of us. And it was missing James Cameron, right? And then the other one was missing both. And it just felt like, whatever, future movie. It didn't feel like anything to me, really.
Right.
And that's what I was worried about with this one. It's like, why even call it Terminator? It's just future movie. Future war.
War. You're right.
But you got Schwarzenegger, okay, that's interesting. But the thing is with James Cameron, he, say what you want about him and his ego or whatever, but like, he's a visionary. You know what I mean? He will tell you this, but I happen to agree with him. There are few people that can do what he does.
Right.
It's indisputable.
Right.
Like, there are a few people that can do what he does. And so you take him out of the equation, and it's like, well, then why do I want to see his story without him?
Okay.
So when you have someone like Megan Elson come on board who makes interesting choices, and they've all been pretty good choices, I'm like, well, obviously she has something in mind. Mm-hmm. So you've piqued my curiosity. So, that's, my curiosity is piqued. I know this movie doesn't need to exist, but I'm interested now.
Right.
I'm willing to give it a shot. Let's say.
Now, from what I've read, they've already cast Sarah Connor,
right,
And
Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones, which makes sense because
Yep.
Alan Taylor directs Game of Thrones. And they're currently casting for a young Kyle Reese.
Mm-hmm.
And this one guy, did I send you that picture of this one guy they're looking at?
Oh yeah,
He's
he
like
looks
a clone.
like exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. If they don't cast
Yeah.
that guy, I'll be very upset. But I mean, what do you think the story is? Is it like a ground up reboot?
Man, wouldn't that be bizarre?
I mean, I hope not. I mean, that would be idiotic if that's what they're doing. But it's called Terminator Genesis. I mean, what the hell does that even mean? What did Terminator Salvation mean?
Yeah.
Right?
But I mean, I guess I'm being short-sighted here, but like, what's the story? I mean, the story was always about trying to stop the war.
Yeah.
And then Terminator 3 told us you can never stop the war.
Yeah.
So then, I don't know, what's the story? You know? Like, we kind of already know how it begins and ends.
Yeah.
So
I love how you say that, like that's the age we're in now, where asking what is the story is considered short-sighted. Like that most basic of questions, like, well, what is it about? It's like, you're just listen, man. I don't need your old man rules, you know?
Yeah. Well, anyway, what about you? You have any interest in this at all, or?
I mean, my interest is you know, my interest level is the same as yours, right? I mean, to the extent that, well, this is a franchise that is obviously an important piece of our lives. So to that extent, we can protest all we want, but at the end of the day, we will probably consume it.
Yeah.
If nothing else, just to be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
Same as, you know, Terminator Salvation, right? Which I have not seen since it was in the theater.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I own it. I bought the Blu-ray because I was like, well, I have all the other Terminators, so I might as well have this one too. Which is weird. I mean, I'm assuming I'm not the only one who has like completionist virus.
Yeah, I'm a little OCD like that. I can resist it, though. I don't own Terminator 4 or 3.
I don't like the way you said that. I don't like the judgment you've implied. Yeah, I mean, I own all 4 of those movies, and I own the TV series also.
Yeah.
And, you know, I haven't watched the show either, right? So, by the way, speaking of Terminator, I should point this out. You'll appreciate this. They just put out a new release of the first Terminator on Blu-ray with a new transfer.
Oh, that's good.
And it's amazing. Like you should definitely pick it up. It looks fantastic.
Okay. I'm always wary of that when like movies like Predator
they
on
ruined.
Blu-ray. Yeah. You know what I mean? So movies now that are in high definition to begin with, I'm like, okay, yeah, of course, makes sense. But I'm always worried about what they've done to the older films.
Yeah, well, with Terminator, I mean, they preserved the grain, but there's a lot more fine detail.
Yeah.
So it looks amazing. And also, just earlier this week, they re-released the original RoboCop on Blu-ray.
That hasn't been before?
Well, there was like a shitty version of it.
Oh, it's a new transfer?
Like a brand new transfer, and it looks phenomenal. I mean, I know that movie inside and out, up and down, and it's like a new experience for me.
Wow. Someone on Reddit actually pointed out in high definition in the Star Wars films, to the left of Carbonite Han Solo in Jabba's palace, there's a Tauntaun head on the wall.
No way.
Yeah, but you'd never see it before, you know, when it's all blurry.
But now on Blu-ray you can.
Yeah, you can see it.
And then when we pan over to that, we hear, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling you, we were talking about this before in our previous episode, but I don't think we were on air. How like that addition to Return of the Jedi is.
Look, I didn't know we were going to go here, but I'll say this: Return of the Jedi. I love the last act of Return of the Jedi. My favorite thing in the entire series, the the Luke Skywalker, Emperor, Darth Vader stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're going to throw in a musical number in Return of the Jedi, fine, whatever. Like, it's there, we can move on. Like, there's something to make me forget about it afterward. But they had to ruin the ending of that movie. So it's like you have Darth Vader saying no now, which is ridiculous, before he throws the Emperor down that pit. And then you have Ghost Hayden, I was going to say Hayden Panettiere. Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
And it's just like, so you have to leave me with a bad taste in my mouth. Like at the very end when I'm saying goodbye after a nice meal that I've cooked for you, you kick me in the ass. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, to me, what's so idiotic is the way in which, like, it's all there in his nonverbals, where the conflict in his, like, what do I do?
you
My
can't
son,
even see his eyes, and you can tell.
right?
You know what's going on in his brain. Yeah.
So I mean, it's weird to me that nearly 30 years after the movie comes out, Lucas is like, it's just not clear what Darth Vader is thinking.
It's so powerful. It's a freaking mask, and I can see the anguish that's going on underneath it. It's amazing. And
Well, and the way the delivery, because he's like, no, no, and I feel
like
like
something ain't right here.
Well, here's my theory on this. I think what we are here in that audio insert is James Earl Jones's reaction to being told this is what we want you to do.
Yeah.
He's like, no. They're like, got it. Got it. Good. So actually, well, I guess that's as good a segue point as any. We do have a bunch of Star Wars news to talk about.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know it's kind of a bitter transition.
Now you're making me think about Return of the Jedi. All right, go on.
Happy. By the way, poor Hayden Christensen. That he's. I kind of feel. I feel like Hayden Christensen is like the Justin Guarini of Star Wars. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you feel bad for that guy. Like, it's like,
What? That's so random and so accurate.
I mean, you don't know which Anakin to feel worse for, Jake Lloyd or Hayden Christensen.
There are no winners.
No matter who wins, we lose.
And I blame, for the record, I have no ill will toward those people.
Right.
Not their fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that being said, the prequels, those are in the past now.
Moving on.
Well,
Upwards and onwards.
Upwards and onwards. So what's happening in Star Wars land, Brian?
Well, this is news that's a little bit older, but we haven't talked about it, where when it was announced that they're going to do a new Star Wars, we're like, say what? And then they said who's going to write it was Michael Arndt, writer of Little Miss Sunshine, Toy Story 3. I feel like there's one other big one. I don't know, but he punches up a lot of stuff. Very capable, talented writer. So
yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's all right. Cool. And what he did with Toy Story 3, which Toy Story 3, come on, that movie's amazing. And he took characters in a world that already existed, and he took it to this whole other level.
Yeah.
So then news came that he was off Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, working in the industry, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
No, any movie you watch, if it has one name on it, like, he's not the only guy that wrote it.
Right.
Like, that's just not the case ever.
Yeah.
Most movies probably have like 5 writers.
Yeah.
Whether or not they're credited.
Oh, and by the way, sorry, let me interject. Let me reenact for you how that went down. Michael Arndt was busy punching away at his keyboard, at which point the phone rings, and it's J.J. Abrams, and he says, hey, Michael, what's going on? And Michael says, hey, J.J., I'm almost done with the script. I'm really excited to start working on it with you. And J.J. Abrams says, no, you aren't.
And he pulled a giant lever,
Yeah.
and he fell through the floor, even though it was his own apartment.
That's right. And then he slaps high five to Lawrence Kasdan, and then we move on with our life. Sorry, moving on.
No, totally worth it. Totally worth it. So Michael Arndt's off. It's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. You kind of wonder why. But in this day and age, we get to learn why pretty easily. The internet age. Apparently,
And
Michael
Quentin
Arndt,
Tarantino's very pissed about it, that it got out.
Yeah. Yeah.
This too.
Yeah. Yeah, there's good and bad with it. But apparently Arndt was focusing on a version of the story that J.J. Abrams did not want to go in. Right? So the way that I understand it, Arndt wanted to move on and have a story that focused on Skywalker kids, right? Like the next generation. And J.J. Abrams was interested in doing one, because it's going to be a trilogy. It's already known that this next segment of films is going to be a trilogy. And J.J. Abrams wanted to have the first film at least hover significantly on the previous actors or characters, Han Solo, Leia, Luke, and then move on within that trilogy. So with Arndt off, J.J. Abrams stepped in and started writing it himself. And apparently there's like new characters, new story. Like it's not like he's adding to what was there. It sounds like he's sort of taken it apart and put it back together. So
here's my question. Does it? I mean, as somebody who's a fan, do you think, just from what you're hearing, does it sound like they've made the right choice?
Oh man, I mean, who knows? Really, who knows?
Yeah.
We won't know. We'll never know, probably.
Right.
I don't know. It's one of those things too, where with Crystal Skull, it was kind of famous that Frank Darabont did a draft that everybody seemed to like except George Lucas. And the whole thing is Lucas, Spielberg, Ford all have to agree on the story for it to move forward. And Lucas was holding out on the Darabont thing.
Yeah.
And so you're like, wow, that's kind of like a holy grail, so to speak, to read that Darabont draft and see what it is that everybody seemed to like that Lucas didn't. You're like, well, I'll never get to read that.
Lucas found this unacceptable.
What?
Well, there's a Seinfeld where Jerry he can't deal with the fact that this girl he's dating with, Newman, dumped her.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I remember that.
He's like, Newman found this unacceptable.
Right. But that was just it. It was like that script was sort of like a holy grail.
Yeah.
And then I've read it. It's online. Like, it's out there. So, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see what could have happened, what did happen. And so anyway, with this one, I'm sort of hoping is someday we're able to read it and see what he was going to do. But, remains to be seen. Who knows?
Now, I've asked this question before, and I don't know that there's an answer to it. But so we have this new trilogy coming out. And we have these whatever spin-off movies that they're doing. By the way, did you hear about what's going on with the Boba Fett spin-off movie?
Oh, no. You tell me the details.
Well, supposedly, the Lawrence Kasdan draft of the Boba Fett script has them basically wipe away the whole clone business from the prequels and have somebody else pick up the Boba Fett identity or whatever, so that the character in the original trilogy is not that annoying little kid in the prequels. Now,
so this Boba Fett movie will take place before the original trilogy.
Correct.
Preserving Boba Fett being cool.
Well, but here's the thing. I mean, I've actually been thinking about this. And this is going to sound weird coming from me. I don't think that's a good idea.
No, I'm not saying it's a good idea, but I do find that interesting. Because, I mean, with that, if they don't wipe that out, Boba Fett is basically a stormtrooper in different armor. Which is,
okay. Now, this is a whole separate here's what I would argue. I would argue that Boba Fett is beyond fixing, period.
Sure.
Like, if we did not have the whole Jango Fett thing in the prequels and stuff, and all we saw of Boba Fett was like the 5 minutes collectively that he has in the two movies, I would be like, okay, let's give him his own movie and flesh this out. It's really cool. I think the prequels have basically ruined that, and I don't think there's any fixing that.
Yeah.
Because to me, and I think most people have already been like, well, the kid grows up to be the Boba Fett in the other movies. That's established, especially because Lucas has changed his voice in the recent releases.
Right.
So I'm kind of like, well, you got to play the ball where it lays. This feels very fanboyish to me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't know. And maybe I'm getting real into the weeds, because the truth is I could not care any less about a Boba Fett movie regardless.
I agree, because I mean, when I think of Boba Fett, he's just cool because he's quiet.
Yeah.
He's got awesome. He looks awesome, and like when they're putting Han Solo into his ship at the end of Empire, and then he's like walking there, he kind of looking like a badass, and he gets on the ship. Yeah, he's scary because we don't know what's going on with that guy. But then, you do a whole movie about him. It's like, I mean, are we gonna like him? Is he gonna be like
the fans? I blame the fans for having this ridiculous.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
I mean, no, in all honesty, right? They have this weird nerd boner for Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. And if I mean, even in the special editions, right? Lucas just kind of kept shoving him in there.
Yeah.
Like randomly. And it's why? Because he's cool looking, like you said. He says like 3 lines.
Yeah.
One of which is, ah! And yet, here we go. It's like, you want Boba Fett? Here you go. Here's Boba Fett. And he ruins it, So some interesting stuff as far as that goes, and we're hearing all the names as far as casting, like Chiwetel Ejiofor and Michael Fassbender. Basically, anyone in 12 Years a Slave is now being mentioned as a potential cast. So we'll never know for certain. Alex Pettyfer is another name that I'm hearing.
Pass.
And Justin Guarini is another name that. Whatever happened to that guy? I wonder.
I don't know.
Be funny if he listens to this show.
Hey, Justin. Hey. It's great. Justin to Kelly. It's good.
You just said great ... Justin to Kelly.
Did you ever listen to that? How did this get made?
As a matter of fact, I did, yeah.
That was a good one.
The fact that movie exists is just bananas.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, moving on. Again, folks, if you have not listened to the How Did This Get Made podcast, you absolutely must. It is.
Yes.
It is must.
It's
it
fantastic.
Is must listen. Yeah. But that wraps up Star Wars news, I believe.
Yeah. This is all rumor. I normally don't like getting into rumors because it's not news, you know, and it could change next week. But apparently, Carrie Fisher in an interview has said, pretty much confirmed that she's in Star Wars.
I think at this point, Carrie Fisher is trying to convince herself that she's in Star Wars.
Right.
Because she talks about it like it's disproportionate, like it's like an inverse relation. Everyone else is complete silence, lockdown.
Yeah.
Inversely proportional to how much she talks about it.
Yeah.
Because like you said, Mark Hamill had that Reddit chat, and they're like, "Are you in it?" And he's like, "I don't know,"
Yeah. He's pretty coy. So.
But yeah, one can assume she'll be in it. I think it's a pretty safe bet. At this stage, it's pretty much an open secret that the big 3 will be in it. I think for my curiosity is who else is going to be in it.
Yeah.
Like who else of the extant characters? Like I'm interested in is Lando Calrissian coming
Billy
back?
D, yeah.
And all those guys. And again, this is the question I've had. Now we were talking about the spin-off movies. So they're doing this trilogy. What happens after this trilogy?
After this trilogy?
Yes.
The new one?
Yes.
Who knows? I'm sure they'll come up with some sort of. They're going to have to invent a lot of stuff. Yeah, even if you have the Skywalkers in it, they got to invent a whole story because the Empire's fallen. Well, so I'm sure there's.
See, here's my question. Because the saga is the numbered movies,
right?
So we're getting 7, 8, and 9. Are we then going to have 10, 11, 12?
If it's profitable,
right? Now here's my other question. Right, the further away we get from the original characters, does that risk damaging the brand?
That's a good question because you think of all the Star Trek films and they all involve.
Well, I mean, there's my point of comparison, right? When you look at Star Trek, you had the original crew, and then you had 4 spin-off shows,
right?
And then eventually they were like, you know what, we got to go back to the original characters, and they rebooted it,
right?
So, do you see a situation like that happening with Star Wars?
I don't think so. I assume that they're hoping that whatever happens in these next 3 with the new characters, the kids or whatever it's going to be, that they can have their own 6 movies.
Right. Okay.
That's what I imagine. Like a new saga.
Yeah.
Even though this is a part of the quote unquote saga.
Right. Right. Interesting.
That's my guess.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting one. Yeah, I mean I mean we don't know anything right now, so
Yeah.
that will have to wait for our next episode. And in fact, we've now bumped up into the runtime for this episode.
Boom.
I know. Normally we would have Sean dispensing some questions of some kind, but
Yeah.
since he's not here, we'll just quietly mourn his absence. I said absence.
Yeah.
Not mourn his passing or anything like that.
No, I know.
But no, this has been kind of just like a headline-centric episode, so I think a little bit of a change.
It's kind of fun. This is just kind of shooting the breeze here.
Shooting the breeze, which is what we do anyway. But we will be back in 2 weeks. Hopefully, Sean will be with us, and we'll let me see actually what's coming up in terms of releases. We've got some big releases coming up next month. We've got RoboCop. And I expect we will be doing a Movies That Matter segment looking back at the original RoboCop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Well, I should seek out the Blu-ray.
You should. Yeah, pick it up.
Actually, no, I shouldn't, because you bought me. I own it because of you, so I'm going to watch the copy you bought me. That's what I'm going to watch.
Yeah, but you have like the crappy DVD that I bought you.
That's okay.
No, you're an American, Brian. You don't watch substandard DVDs. Jeez.
Well, you also bought me Blu-ray of the Road Warrior.
Oh yeah, the Mad Max trilogy.
So I gotta do that, and then I'll talk about it.
Yeah, you need to watch them in order.
Yeah, and especially in light of this week's Community.
Oh, did you see this week's episode?
Yeah. Oh man, so good.
Folks, if you don't get the hint from our show, we love Community.
Yeah.
And therefore, you should love Community also. In all seriousness, if you listen to the show and it moves you to watch the Community, I'll consider it a win.
Even episodes that I don't tend to enjoy as much as others, you can't help but appreciate the craftsmanship of just the tightest, wittiest, most bizarre 22 minutes on TV. And it always has this nice little gooey center. You know, it has a beating heart to it.
Yep.
As weird as it can get. And this last week was no exception. It was a concept episode that was basically like post-apocalyptic sort of take as this entire community college is playing an epic game of hot lava. so everybody, it's just crazy. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, just for one episode, all the props and the production design that went into it to make it this crazy Mad Max world in this college. It was really, really impressive.
You must watch that show. That's your takeaway. Yeah. That's Brian's final thought for this episode.
Sure.
And with that, we'll start winding down here. Brian, where can people find you online?
At everythingbrian.blogspot.com, Brian with an I.
And
I put up another post for 2014.
Oh, snap. That's you've used up your quota. You've exhausted your
I've gone over my quota.
I know.
My cup runneth over. So
you'll have to check that out, folks. Am I hyping it up too much? I don't know.
No.
You can, of course, find us at moviefilmpodcast.com. Please send us email at moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com, and also write us a review at iTunes or leave us a star rating. Also, you can find us at Stitcher Radio. Same drill there. Please write us a review. And seriously, every little bit helps. Please write us a review because you'll feel good about yourself, really, at the end of the day. And, that's a good thing. You can also find me online at zakiscorner.com. That's ZAKIS Corner, as well as at the Huffington Post, where my movie reviews and the Movie Film Podcast are posted regularly. Also, you can find me at Twitter. I realize that we all use Twitter, or you and I use Twitter anyway, Brian. Or I use Twitter.
I need to use it more.
So Brian has a Twitter. I
have a Twitter.
I am on Twitter at zakiscorner.com. At Zakis Corner, excuse me. Brian, are you everything Brian?
I think I'm everything Brian. Yeah, I honestly don't really use it. I need to start. I will start.
You should. I used to be anti-Twitter. Now I am pro-Twitter. So
yeah,
I'm a fan. But regardless,
and by the way,
yes.
I assume people, here, see Zaki's work and see his reviews. But if you don't, I just read his Jack Ryan review. I love this guy's reviews. Thanks, you've got to seek this stuff out on Huffington Post. And it's easy for me to say I'm his friend. I do the show with him. But I really mean it. Like, this guy, I'm talking like he's not here, but this guy writes the most entertaining and insightful reviews. And I love reading every single one. Even movies that I have no interest in, I enjoy reading his writing. So I really recommend you seek that out.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
That makes me feel good. I'm glad that bribes still count for something in this day and age. that makes me feel good. My 50 cents did not get wasted, so I'm happy about that. On that note, that is the Movie Film Podcast, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you for listening.
Welcome